Slanic, Moldova. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Yes. So we went on a camp. We didn't take the whole team now. It was just me and Adrian. And we had two other roommates. Somewhere at the second floor, I'm thinking. In a villa in the center of this small place, this resort. Which had a terrace outside. It was an interesting location. The other two were one young guy from Juju, if I'm not mistaken, Stejorel, studying forestry, something like that. If I'm not making, I'm surely making some of these things up because they're not there anymore in the real original format, if there ever was one. Because there've been others before me have said this. So at the time when it happened, I had an image of what happened, what's going on, of this guy and what he said, and so I have to remember what I have, what I can remember, what is potentially there is this image, but then there's an image of an image. There's a complex transformation. Let's forget about that because this is just simple stuff. It's not really, we don't have the means to get into the relativity of things. By the way, there's an article in The Economist last week, Science and Technology, speaking about traveling, cycling with the speed of light or something. And there was at one point, if somebody would cycle, it would cycle sideways. That would be the effect of speed, the transformation of space, illusions, time. So it's all well beyond my understanding. I don't know about you. Well, I know about you. You're not even there. We don't have for you. We only have us boys here. So, to return to our story, if we ever have a thread, a timeline, anything, Stagiaire, the oak, little oak, or something like that. It was his name. That's again what I'm thinking. We didn't even baptize him with that. And there was this other man from Moldova, somewhere from Yassi, who spoke with a Moldavian accent. And he had this funny thing which stayed with us, expression for some time, by futiri, by fatastai, futiri, by, or that movie futiri, or that drink, or whatever, it's futiri. It's fucking good, it's fucking, but he had a soft, sweet way of saying it. It was a dulce vorbă moldovenească, that was again, it's maybe in a poem or something, that sweet word from Moldavia. So that was the company. Plus, there were some, small as this was, there was some women in the neighborhood. So we had right above, there was this woman with her daughter, young. The mother was also not old, but the daughter was young. I will not say how old because I don't know, and this is not a confession of things we did wrong. It's not something like statutory rape at that point. It wasn't in the books. It wasn't. It wasn't like now. And so my recollection is that I spoke with her a little, probably first. I mean, surely first, if this is the way I'm saying it. But nothing came out of it. I mean, we just talked, and then I moved on. And at one stage, we had some little or big erotic parties. They gathered in our room, and we, I don't know, played cards, games of the kind mentioned in Eric Burns' games people play, classical psychology, and others. But it was just this splendid feeling of a dolce vita. It seemed that sex was available, that we were coveted, we were desirable. There was competition. A few girls competing for me and Adrian, I guess, as the I don't know if the alpha males. I've read somewhere that the initial alpha male story or study was related in the wrong way. So I'm not sure we keep using that so frequently. The alpha male is an alpha male, but maybe it was an alpha female also. And there were things like at one point one of us, maybe yours truly, went out on the terrace and threw something out, shoes or a book or the panties of a guest, because she went too far, or she said something, or more likely just because I could do it. It was, we were padishahs, we were maharajas and pashas and sultans, or we just felt like it, because it was this atmosphere where, again, I mentioned, it felt like we were in control. Flow, as Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi has it, another classic of psychology, flow. And one of the conditions of flow, of being in the zone, is to be in control, feel like you're in control. And that's how we felt. But then, that's an interesting episode, this Slanic Moldova. Let's see if we finish with the second today. Because after this Zen-like atmosphere, Zen not in a sense of sophistication, purity, high level of understanding of achieve. No, it was just feeling good in a more simplistic, primitive way. Just, as I said, an atmosphere of eroticism, of desire, of feeling in control, of feeling that we can take this or that female companion. So anyway, serenity, a bliss of some sort. Primordial, or otherwise. Came in contrast with what happened quite soon after. So, my friend got quite intimate with a young girl, Lala. And the mother was also engaged in her own affair, her own extramarital, it seems, affair, right on top or something, because that helped with her explain her attitude initially. She didn't want any noise, she didn't want trouble, because that would potentially create issues for herself. That's again a way I see it. Maybe I'm just fabricating some evidence or some context, some background here. I don't remember well anyway. That's I made this clear a few times. What I'm telling you is maybe a fruit of the imagination. And in large part, maybe 80-90%. Maybe in smaller part, maybe just 10% of what I say is distorted, not as it happened, but as I imagine it happened. Remember, think, I thought this way. So somehow, that's again unclear. They had maybe intimate relations, let's say. But because mother came or somebody else, or the girl starts claiming she didn't want to have this intimacy. Let's limit it to that. Who knows who hears this and starts making trouble. But he can't, because I've said it, I repeated it, and then I repeat again. It's just fantasy. So never mind using this for whatever fucked up thing one might create for after how many years? 30 years? 35 years? Anyway. So kerfuffle is generated. A buzz, people go, oh look, these guys, we know them, and it's again, I'm making up, the fancy playboys, they come from the city and they think they fucking know anything, and they don't, and they arrogant pricks, and people from Bucharest, fuck them. And so a little uproar was generated. I'll have to think about what I'm saying in the meantime until tomorrow and see if I'm giving you the inside story. Okay, if I have 1,000,000 votes to say it all by tomorrow, I'll say it. If not, maybe I'll just keep it a secret.